Hello everyone, I'm Justin, and for today's video, we're looking at the new anime season Fall 2023. For this video, I'll be talking about the animes that I think I will like, the animes that I'm expecting to be good, and what I'll be watching this season. So without further ado, let's just jump right into it. First, we have the return of the Eminence in the Shadow. The second season for the Eminence in the Shadow. If you haven't watched the first season, I highly recommend it to you. It's one of the best comedy isekai animes that I have watched. It knows when to be funny, it knows when to try to be serious, but overall it's just one of the best isekais that have come out in the last few years. So yeah, if you haven't watched it, I recommend you to give it a try, and the second season I expect it to be as good as the first one. Next, we have the second season of Spy Family. I mean, I love Spy Family. I think it's a really good family-friendly show. There's just like a few things that like I felt like the first season didn't end with like at a good point. I think by the end of the first season they were just like giving short episodes without too much plot movement. So I didn't like that in that sense, and I also didn't like that Yor didn't got that much interaction with her assassin persona. But aside from that, it is a really good family-friendly show, and Anya is so cute. So yeah, I watched the first season, and of course I'm going to watch the second season. Next, we have the Rising of the Shield Hero. I get to say that I'm really disappointed with the second season. I thought the second season was way slower. It was more of the same, nothing new, and I felt like the enemies were kind of bland. So I hope that the third season gets better and they refocus more into the mystery of what are the waves and what is happening. I already read all the web novels, so I know how it ends, but still, I hope that they just like start pushing towards that story, and they bring back the what was, I don't even remember her name. I think they call her Trash at the end, but like that woman that everybody hate, she's coming back, I think, to be a minor enemy again. So yeah, I hope that they focus more on that sense and try to like have more enemies that feel more compelling and more interesting. So yeah, I hope that the third season gets better. But yeah, the second season was really disappointing. Then we have the second season of Goblin Slayer. If you haven't watched the first season, or you only watched the first episode because something really difficult to like happens, there's some rape scenes that are not exactly for everyone, which is understandable. I think if you put aside the first episode, it is an incredibly good show. I think it focuses on a lot of on the psychology of the main protagonist and how he is wholeheartedly looking to just kill goblins, and like he dedicates all his life on killing goblins. I love that story. I watched the first season and the movie, and yeah, it's a really good story. Yeah, I will be watching the second season, so I hope you give it a try. And if you think that the first episode is too much for you, don't worry. It's only in the first episode. That doesn't really happen again, aside from like a few minor things in like the last episodes. But aside from that, it's a really good show. Next is the second court of the third season of Doctor Stone. Yeah, what can I say? It's more Doctor Stone. It's a really good show. If you like chemistry, like, I'm sure you will watch it too. Next is Seiken Gakuen no Makentsukai. I haven't heard of this one. Battles for ancient kingdoms are nothing compared to the battles of a classroom. Awakening from magical stasis after thousands of years, the Dark Lord Leonis suddenly finds himself in the body of a 10-year-old boy. He quickly meets Riselia, a girl confronting the Voids, creatures that have nearly exterminated humanity. Determined to uncover the mysteries of this strange new era, Leonis enrolls in Excalibur Academy, a school that trains students to fight back against these enigmatic monsters. Could the Voids hold some connection to Leonis' past? I don't know about this one. I know it's Studio Passion, so you can expect some etchy on that sense. But it the plot just sounds as generic as it could get. I think we already had like 5 different shows like this in the last 2 seasons. So yeah, the plot doesn't is not catching me, but there must be a reason why it is so high in the list, because otherwise, like, why would people be talking about this one? So yeah, I think I will give it a try. I don't expect too much, but maybe it could impress me. Then is the Faraway Paladin season 2. So yeah, the first season, I think it started incredibly good. It sets up a really good fantasy kind of like Tolkien world that focuses a lot on like folklore and gods and monsters. And I thought it was really interesting, and like the story of uh, heroes that became monsters and take care of a child. I thought it was incredibly good, but I did think that the second part of this first season, kind of got like went more into the generic side and more into like, oh yeah, he's a priest and like he's living in like a town, things like that. I didn't like that. I was hoping that it would be more of an epic adventure. So I hope they change into that, because I felt like the second part of the season was really disappointing. But if they change the formula and focus more on traveling and like the epic tale of a paladin trying to save the world from an evil force, I think it could be good. But we'll have to wait and see. Next is the second part of Deadmau Deadblade. I love the first season. I thought it was really interesting. Necromancer that reincarnates in modern world Japan, and there are like some people that like kind of have superpowers, but it kind of tends to be just like people that have like really good abilities and like use technology to like kind of like trick the minds of people. But yeah, I think it is a good show because like there is only one person that has real magic, and it's this guy that is like a skeleton that can like control other skeletons, summon his skeleton hands. It's a really good show. I love this type of like shonen shows. So yeah, I will be watching it. I hope the second season is the second part is as good as the first part. Next we have what was the name? It is Frieren of the End, I think it's called, or some Journey of Frieren, Journey to the World's End, something like that. So yeah, I read this one. I read the manga already. It's incredibly good. It's basically tells the story of the group of the hero, but it tells the story after they defeat the demon lord. So they defeat the demon lord, and then like everybody is together, and then the elf is like, okay guys, I'm just going to travel around for a bit. I will see you in 50 years. And yeah, she disappears, comes back in 50 years, and yeah, the hero is an old man, everybody's an old man, and she just didn't realize that she just doesn't age the same way as other people. And when for her 50 years is nothing, for other people is a lot of time. So yeah, it's the story about coping with the loss of loved ones, having somebody who has so little sense of time because of how long life she has, compared to seeing people and seeing her friends that grew old and seeing how they are passing the torch to the newer generation, and how she is kind of like the bridge between the old and the young generation. It's a really incredibly good show. So yeah, if you haven't heard of this one, I recommend it. It's incredibly good, and I'm sure it's going to be one of the best animes of the season. Next we have Keiken Sumi na Kimi to Keiken Zero na Ore ga Otsukiai Suru Hanashi. Introverted high school student Ryuto is forced to confess his crush to the most popular and beautiful girl in school, Luna. Surprisingly enough, she replies, "Then how about we go out? I'm single right now anyhow." Then, right after school, she invites Ryuto to her room. Despite being completely different from one another, including the amount of experience with love and types of friends they have, The two of them are about to embark on a relationship full of firsts. It kind of looks good. I think it kind of gives me the vibes of that, like the gal show about like the guy who is dating a gal, or maybe even the other show that was called 2D Kanojo. I thought those two were really good. This one is giving me kind of the same vibes. So yeah, if it fits that formula, I think I will enjoy it. I love this type of rom-coms. So yeah, I think if it's that way, I think I will really enjoy it. Next is the 100 girlfriends that really, really, really love you. Yeah, I already read the manga of this one. But let's see the synopsis. A hilarious, over-the-top harem rom-com. After 100 rejections, one young man must make his 100 soulmates happy or else. Aijo Rentaro has asked 100 girls out and struck out every time. In desperation, he prays to the guidance only to be told by God that his rejections were to a cosmic mishap. Now this God will set things right by making sure Aijo gets 100 dates. Except, as things often go with gods, there's a catch. Each of his 100 dates is Aijo's destined soulmate. Worse, if he doesn't return their feelings, they will die in a horrible and hilarious accident. So yeah, basically it's a story about this guy who gets rejected a lot, but then he's told every time you confess to a girl, they will love you, and if you don't love them back, they will die. So yeah, it's basically the guy confessing to girls he likes and the girls dating him, and surprisingly enough, all the girls are okay with being together even though they have to share him. And yeah, I think so far from the manga, I have read to the point where he has like 15 girlfriends or something like that. I don't think they will reach that point. I think they will probably have like around 6 or 7 by the end of the season. But yeah, it is the funniest rom-com. This is peak rom-com, and if you like rom-coms, you will love this one. This is one of the best rom-coms that I have read. Next we have Boshoko no Berserk. Fate, a castle guard in a world where one's skills are everything, has acquired a skill called gluttony that does nothing but make him hungry, leaving him with a miserable life. But one day, he defeats some who are bandits infiltrating the castle, and his world changed. Thus begins the story of how a young man, once ridiculed as talentless, climbed from the lowest stratum of life to the top. Yeah, I assume he had like a really OP ability that like some people thought it was useless, but apparently he has like a way to cheat the system. Probably he can eat other skills or things like that. Yeah, I have no idea what it is about, but I can assume this kind of like screams generic, but I think in a sense that I think some people will like it. And I don't know, the art style kind of looks good, so we will see. I will give it a try. Next we have the next season of Tokyo Revengers. What can I say? Tokyo Revengers is incredibly good. I think the drama is really good, aside from like a few minor things that I think I already mentioned in my previous videos. But yeah, if you haven't watched the other seasons, I'm sure you will watch this one. It's really good. It's a really good show. Next we have the second season of Girlfriend. Yeah, I think it will be a bit more of the same, just like the two guys dating each other, the two girls dating the one guy, and if I remember correctly, at this point there was like a third girl. So yeah, I guess it will be girlfriend. But yeah, if you watch the first season, you will probably watch the second season. I think it's a good rom-com. It's not incredibly good. I think when it came out, there were not that many great rom-coms. That's why this one got like highlighted, and I'm assuming that's why it got the second season. But yeah, I will give it a try. I mean, I already watched the first season, so I think I will be watching the second one. Next we have the Saints. The Saints' Power is Omnipotent, I think it's called, second season. Yeah, it's a good shoujo anime. If you like shoujo stories about like a girl with like the love of her life and some other handsome guys that are trying to date her, but she only has eyes for this one guy, yeah, it's more of this type of story. I love this type of stories, and I don't think there's that many shoujo animes as of late, so one more is always good. Next we have Hametsu no Okoko. Witches once blessed the human race with wisdom and peace, but the Ready Empire gear expansion brought about a culture of science that far surpassed magic, and witches were viewed as enemies, impeding the progress of civilization. Thus began the witch hunts. One human named Adonis, who has ruled by a witch named Chloe, swears revenge against human race that took his beloved mentor from him. What salvation can be found at the end of the bloodbath fueled on this utter despair? I think it gives me the vibes of Zero, the Grimoire of Zero, in the sense of like witch hunts and things like that. We'll see. I'm not sure about this one. I think also the art style kind of looks like 3D-ish. I'm not completely sure, but I'm not sold on this one. Next we have Hikikomori Kyoketsuki no Monmon. 3 years into her life as a shut-in, vampire Terakomari Gandesblot, Komari for short, awakens to find that she's been appointed as a commander to the Moon Knight Imperial Army. The thing is, her new unit consists solely of belligerent ruffians who revolt against their superiors at the slightest hint of weakness. Although Komari hails from a line of vampires as powerful as they are prestigious, her refusal to drink blood has made her the picture of mediocrity, scrawny, uncoordinated, and inept at magic. With the odds stacked against her, will the help of her trusty and slightly infatuated maid Bill be enough for his recluse to blunder her way to success? Or will Komari rue the day she ever left the safety of her room? I guess we have girls love vampire anime. Oof. If it's that type of show, I'm all into it. I love some BL. Some Yuri, sorry. So yeah, if it's a bit of Yuri, I'm all into it. So yeah, we will see. I think it would be a Yuri, but I'm not completely sure. Next we have Konjiku Haki Sareta Reijo wo Hirota Ore wa Ikeni koto wo oshi wo komu. What does a young noble woman freshly betrayed by her betrothed need most? A crash course in everything naughty. And who better to teach her than the fair hermit sorcerer who, for some reason, can't help but pamper her to no end? Allen, a powerful sorcerer, feared as the Demon King by all town, wants nothing more than to enjoy his solitary existence deep in the forest. That is until the day that he discovers a young woman unconscious in the neck of the woods, and save her from a band of knights. He soon learns that the girl Charlotte was betrothed to a prince of the neighboring kingdom before he framed her for vicious crimes and forced her to flee for her safety. Moved by her plight and pitiful life as the disgraced novel had led, Ellen stakes his way to life on a promise to give Charlotte a crash course on all things that's naughty, and make her the happiest woman in the world. I mean, a bit of ecchi, I guess. It doesn't have the tags, but we'll see. It kind of gives me the vibes of a villainous show, but not really, so I'm really not sure. It says comedy, fantasy, and romance, but I'm not 100% of this one. I think I will give it one episode. If it doesn't catch me, I guess I will skip it. If not, maybe we're looking for a new rom-com that will be fun. Next we have Ranga Crimson. Dragons reign terror over the earth, sea, and sky. If sworn dragon hunters like Ragna are to have any hope of dealing death to those seemingly invincible fire-breathing beasts, they must find a way to level odds. Ragna teams up with a mysterious man named Crimson, who likewise sworn to stand against the dragons menacing the world. But although Crimson's motivations may be mysterious, his goal and Ragna perfectly align, and together they fight to vanquish the dragons once and for all. Guess looks kind of like a good shonen. We would see. I kind of vibe with the art style. We would see where it goes. Yeah, I think the idea is not bad, but we would need to see how it progresses. But yeah, we'll give it a few episodes, and if not, we'll skip it because I think there's already a good bunch of shonens. Next we have Kikansha no Mao wa Tokubetsu Desu. The world is on the brink of destruction after a devastating 10-year war in the Shadow Labyrinth. Desir Herman is one of the last skilled magicians left standing, but even he's no match for the formidable foe threatening humanity's very existence. When he is certain that the end has come, he is sent back in time to his early days of studying magic at the prestigious Herborn Academy. With this rare second chance, Desir is determined to save not only himself but also his friends and cameras that he once lost. Armed with the knowledge of what the future holds, can his efforts make a difference, or are they all doomed to relive the same terrible destiny based on the hit novel? Looks really good. I really like the plot. I think it kind of gives the vibes of course, of ReZero and Real Life, like all those shows that like, oh, you kind of go back to the beginning. It's in a sense, it's also similar to the to what was the name that the redo of a healer, but I guess this is not going to be ecchi or like messed up. But yeah, it looks incredibly good. I really like the plot. I just hope they land this idea really well, because it looks like it's going to be really good. I think I will be watching this one. Next we have Undead Unluck. What happens when an unlucky girl meets an undead guy? Pure chaos. Tired of inadvertently killing people with her special ability Unluck, Fuko Izumo sets out to end it all. But when she meets Andy, a man who longs for death but can't die, she finds a reason to live, and he finds someone capable of giving him the death that he's been looking for. I heard of this one. I heard the manga is incredibly good. So yeah, I think I'll be watching this one. I personally don't know what it is about. I just heard that it's really good. So yeah, I think this is going to be like a good shonen similar to what we had in the past with Mashle. This would be kind of like the same type of like shonen with like a bit of comedy, but it will be a really good show. So yeah, I'll be watching this one, and I think it will be a really good hit for this season. Next we have Boukensha ni Naritai no to Miyako ni Deteita Musume ga S-rank ni Nateta. The life of an adventurer isn't always a glamorous one. Belgrave finds this out the hard way when she has a deadly encounter robs him of his leg and the ability to pursue his dreams not long after setting off for the fame and fortune. But fate isn't finished with this retired adventurer. While gathering herbs in the wilderness, he discovers an abandoned bee girl and names her Angeline. After deciding to raise her as his own, Angeline grows up to become a top-tier adventurer in her own right. Yet, after adventuring out into the world and making a name for herself, fame, fortune, and power hold no allure for the accomplished S-rank adventurer. Her heartfelt wish is for nothing more than to see her father again. Kind of gives me the vibes of the hero companion that went back to the village, and all those type of like slow life shows where like the hero goes back to his old town and like try to live like a leisure life, but then trouble comes his way. I thought I was surprised. I didn't think I would like them, but I thought they were kind of good. So yeah, I think this would not be bad. I don't think it would be the best of the season, but it will probably still be good. Next one, I think this is called the Apothecary Diaries. I think this is kind of like a Chinese type of show. Let's see. Mao Mao lived a peaceful life with her apothecary father, until one day she's sold as a lowly servant to the emperor's palace. But she wasn't meant for a compliant life among royalty. So when imperial herds fall ill, she decides to step in and find a cure. This catches the eye of Jinshi, a handsome palace official who promotes her. Now she's making a name for herself solving medical mysteries. A mystery anime. I think this will be kind of similar to the what was the name? The Raven of the Inner Palace. Similar in that way. I think it won't be that much into the supernatural, but more into like mystery and medical sense. But yeah, I think it won't be bad. I think if you like Raven of the Inner Palace, you probably like this one. So yeah, if I think it won't be bad, but I don't expect too much. I heard the animation quality for this one is good though, so we will see. Next we have the second part of the second season of Ancient Magus Bride. The second season kind of disappointed me a bit. I kind of didn't like the idea of them going to school, because like the guy is already like an incredibly powerful magician, and I don't know. It felt kind of like weird to go to school. but aside from that, it is not a bad show. I love the first season, but yeah, the second season I wasn't sold on the school sense. So yeah. Next is Watashi no Oshi wa Akuyaku Reijo. This is the, I don't remember the English name, but it's something like I'm in love with the villainess or something like that. I won't read the plot because I already read the manga. It is basically about a girl that gets reincarnated as the main protagonist of an otome game, but she doesn't like the guys. In fact, she's in love with the villainess. So every time the villainess is trying like to be mean to her, she's just like falling in love more with her and just like tries to tease her and like doing like cute stuff. So yeah, this is a girls love anime. I'm all into it. You know me, I love Yuri animes. So yeah, this will be more of that, and I love it. I think it will be good. As I said, I already read the manga. I know what it is about, and I will be loving this one. Next, we have Tearmon Teikoku Monogatari, Dantodai Kara Hajimaru Hime no Tensai Gyakuten Story. I have a head, and I'm young? 20-year-old Princess Mia of the Tearmon Empire, often scorned as the selfish princess, was executed by a guillotine in a rebellion. Next thing she knew, she awoke in her own 12-year-old body, with her own blood-stained diary that she kept before she was beheaded, sitting next to her pillow. Given a second chance at life, Mia decides to rebuild the Empire, for the sake of Tearmon's future, to have the people from starvation, for all the soldiers who lost their lives in the Civil War. Not everything she does in the life is for the sake of avoiding the guillotine. For me, this should be a piece of cake. Thus, the useless, cowardly, self-serving princess brings about a miracle after miracle in her great struggle to save herself in this altered history fantasy. I think this plot, we have seen similar plots already. Even right now, the villainess anime that's airing right now, it's really similar. The only difference is that this is not an otome game. This is just the princess goes back in time to when she was young. So yeah, I think I know I said this is not original at all, but still I love this type of shows, so I think I'll be watching it. Next is the First Horseman of the Apocalypse. This is kind of like a sequel, but like a standalone sequel to the Seven Deadly Sins. I got to say that I was disappointed by Seven Deadly Sins by the end of the anime. I will giving this an opportunity. I don't know what it will be about, but yeah, it's difficult to like things from like this type of story when Seven Deadly Sins really disappointed me. But yeah, I will give it a few episodes to see how it goes. Next is Ojo to Banken-kun. 15-year-old Isaku Senagaki, the granddaughter of a third boss of the Senagaki crime syndicate, just wants to have normal friends and a normal high school romance. She enrolls in a high school far from her hometown, but the overprotective young leader, 26-year-old Keiya Uto, lies about his age and bribes his way into the same school as Isaku, telling Isaku she's too young to fall in love. Keiya, ready to scare off all the boys, but actually Isaku had an unrequited feelings for Keiya this whole time. Wait, so... why is he a young... I guess he's like I'm kind of confused by young leader, but I guess he's just kind of like one of the like people in charge, but he's not like, because I thought like wait isn't her granddaughter the leader? Isn't her granddad the leader? But man, I don't know. Kind of looks good. We'll see. Kind of like a romance with like a bit of like Yakuza story. We will see. We will see. Next we have Shangri-La Frontier. I heard of this one. I know this is a really good manga, but I'm not sure what it is about, so let's read the synopsis. When was the last time I played a game that wasn't crap? This is a world in the near future where games that used to display screens is classified as retro. Anything that can't keep up with state-of-the-art VR technology is called a crap game, and you see a large number of crap games coming out. Those who devoted their lives to clearing these games are called crap game hunters. And Rakuro Hitsume is one of them. The game he's chosen to tackle next is Shangri-La Frontier, a god tier game that has a total of 30 million players. Online friends, an expansive world, encounters with rivals, these are changing Rakugo and all the other players' fates. The best game adventure tale by the strongest crap game player begins now. Yeah, I heard this is like a VR game anime. I'm not sure how good it's going to be, but I heard really good things about this one. I heard the manga is really good. So we will see. I think this season is really stacked with really good animes. Let's go next. Next we have Kamonoshi Ron ni Kindan Suiri. This unusual duo brings hidden truth into the light. Ron, a private investigator with serious issues, and Totomaru Ishiki, a pure-hearted but dim police detective, team up to solve the most baffling mysteries, a thrilling detective story for a new generation from Akira Amano, creator of Reborn and Deal Life. Looks generic mystery. I don't think I'll be watching this one. Next we have Under Ninja. After World War II, Allied Command in Japan developed an agency to help manage terrorism and violence within the Pacific region. The agency was staffed with ninja, and they were initially tasked to handle domestic affairs. Eventually, that program grew to its current form, managing 20,000 ninjas across the range of domestic and international affairs. One of those ninja happens to be Kuro. The 17-year-old high school loser is now poised to be the next in line of defense against the potential CERN-ship foreign assassins invading Tokyo. Like action, comedy, drama, slice of life. Looks interesting. I think I will be giving this one a try. We will see. Next we have Butano Liver wa Kanetsu Shiro. An unappealing otaku awakens in the body of a pig after he passes out while eating raw pig liver. Pig finds himself in the company of Jess, an innocent girl who can't read people's minds, and she accepts him despite his boorish thoughts. Although she does plan to eat him. Although she does plan to eat him. When Jess is in danger of succumbing to dark destiny, can Pig save her using his quick wits, wisdom, and refined sense of smell? What? Okay, this looks really funny, and the pig looks really cute. It kind of reminds me of Gravity Falls pig. But yeah, I think it looks cute and funny. I will be watching this one. Kind of looks cute. Next we have MF Ghosts. I don't want to read the synopsis of this one. I want to come in blind. The only thing I know is that I heard this is by the same author as Initial D. So yeah, if you liked Initial D, you should give this one a try. It's about car races. So yeah, I'll be watching this one, and I think a lot of people will be watching it too. And lastly, we have the third awaited season of Uma Musume Pretty Derby Season 3. I don't know what it will be about. It doesn't have any synopsis, but I love Uma Musume. If you haven't watched my first season and second season reviews, I think they are like peak stories. I love these ones. I think they are incredibly good for being about random girls that are horses and they compete in races. These stories are incredibly good. I already watched the 2 seasons plus I think there's been like 5 OVAs about like 2 different stories. So yeah, I'll be watching the 3rd season, and yeah, if you haven't watched the first 2 seasons, you can watch them or watch my review about them. They are incredibly good, and I really recommend it to you. And I think at some point I will be probably be making a review to the Uma Musume, the one about the 3 girls competing. I don't remember the name of the OVA, but yeah, I'll be doing one of that one. And that is it. I think this season is incredibly stacked. We have so many good shows that even they don't go into the top of the list. There are so many really good shows that I think deserve a lot of credit, and I think this next season, if you thought this season was like kind of slow or there were a lot of shows but nothing standing out, this next season will stand out. It looks incredibly good. And yeah, I'm really hyped for the fall 2023 anime season. So yeah, I think that's everything. Let me know what you guys think of this. Do you think I missed something? Which would be your anime to watch for this season? Let me know in the comments below. Until then, see you guys next time.